All right, we're back to hard hits. The last matchup that we reviewed was probably the beginning of the wackiness of what went on in in week 5 with the Elite who fire sailed and convincingly beat Limo Right and Jet Flying. I think this next matchup, this is the peak, the top of the what the fuck is going on in this league this week. Bukaki, top dog this season, sitting at number 2 in the power rankings, going up against El Jefe. I thought this was a no-brainer. I think we all knew this was a no-brainer. Um, what we didn't think was two things. Um, this matchup ended up being the biggest wipeout so far this season. And two, El Jefe ended up breaking the league record for the most points scored in a week. So El Jefe put up 220.14 points. He beat Bukaki 220.14 to 113.24, beating him by 106.9 points. Let's put that into perspective for just a moment. His two leading scorers, Deshaun Watson, who put up 56.7, and Will Fuller, who put up 51.7. Those two combined put up a little bit over 108 points total. Those two players alone would have beat Limo Ride and Jet Flying Son of a Gun and In My Feelings. Wow. It's just a wacky way to start this week 5. El Jefe, not only did he get those two performances, but he also got the Philly defense who put 36 points down. Michael Gallup a 20.8, Sanu 12.8, Chubb had a okay 10.4. Not to mention OBJ didn't do anything with 4 points. So this man could have kept going and going and going. I don't know how I feel about this team. He was rumored to have tons of trade interest in his team, thinking that he was going to tank. He was done. He refused. He wanted to keep going. He didn't want to make any deals for his team. And this is what his team did. Could this be a 1 week out anomaly? It could be. I don't know. I just think that this team. I'm not a big Deshaun Watson guy. I don't think he's going to do this much longer. Will Fuller, 51.7. That guy's like the second option on that team. No, this is an anomaly. Is he going to keep doing this? No. El Jefe, great. This is a great performance from him. But 220 every week. This guy failed to put up 100 points, I believe, 3 out of the 4 weeks. 2 out of the 3 weeks, whatever it may be. He failed to put up 100 points for the majority of the season. And then for him to put up 220, wow. Bukaki, on the other hand, he had 4 players in double digits. 22.7 led his way with Fournette. 17.10 with Zeke, 16.3 with Mac, 12.3 with Lockett. He just didn't get performances from Lamar Jackson at 8.4, D. Robinson at a 4.6, Davis 3.8. It's a matchup to just pack it up and forget it. Sitting at 3-2, that's great. El Jefe sitting at 2-3. I don't know. Like I said, jambalaya. We're in the middle of the pack. This week can definitely maybe shift some things here and there, or it could make this even worse. But sitting in the middle, playoff hopefuls, it's still not dead. But I don't know how I feel about El Jefe. I don't. Bukaki, on the other hand, it's inconsistency after inconsistency. He'll have a solid week, and then he'll have a disappointing week. A solid week, then a disappointing week. And he's got to get it together. Got to get it together. The next one, we take a look at Cooking a Little Sudden. Was trying to rebound after a solid week last week. Who grabbed her first W, going up against Trash Season, undefeated, having the time of his life, can't be stopped. Trash Season ended up winning this matchup. It was pretty tight for the most part, but it was decided on Sunday. Trash Season won 136.8 to 126.4 against Cooking a Little Sudden. Beat her by 10.3 points. Led the way by his performance, who led all scoring with Christian McCaffrey with 44.7. Kyler Murray had a solid game, 24.4. And then Austin Hooper with 10.6. He only had 3 players in scoring in double digits. That says a lot. Christian McCaffrey is the workhorse. But what happens when the fun stops there, right? We don't know. He didn't have solid performances. Keenan Allen only had 3.8. Playing with fire. He didn't start a defensive lineman. Samuel only had 5.9, Mostert with 5.4, and then Robert Woods with 7.8. Just He knows how to manage his lineup. He picks up the right people. He's playing with fire this week, but Christian McCaffrey is definitely the workhorse on this team. If they're going to score the points, it's going out of McCaffrey. Cook and Raquel, a better performance. 4 players in double digits, put up mediocre points. Allen Robinson led her scoring with 25.2. Dalvin Cook with 22.8. Sutton with 17.2, and then Hunter with 10. It's just she had disappointing performances from the people she couldn't have disappointing performances from. Cook 6.10, Jones 6.6, Aaron Rodgers only 7.4 because they played the ground the whole game. Jalen Samuels 0.96. When you're looking for 10 points, you could have easily got those 10 points from those 4 players easily. It's frustrating, especially when your team, those players are winning and they're just not getting the ball. They're not getting the scoring opportunities. That's frustrating. Cooking a little something. We talk about it. This week is a do-or-die week if you want to keep fighting. If not, then you're just going to be playing for last. You're fighting to get out of last if you don't win this week. Trash season continues to know how to win. Doesn't put up the flashy numbers. Doesn't lead the league in scoring, but knows how to win. Drafts the right people. Picks up the right people. Lineup management is key. We talk about who his quarterbacks are. It's Kyler Murray and Josh Allen. They're not flashy players. They're not the top ones in their position. But he looks at the matchups. He knows which players to put in place. And if Christian McCaffrey keeps on doing what he's doing, he's going to be okay. The last matchup we're going to take a look at was the matchup of the week. The matchup of the week. M.I. Thielens. He thought he was sitting at 4-0. But he's sitting at 3-1 after that stat correction. Going up against him 4th down and bitches, who's 2-2. This matchup wasn't close at all. M.I. Thielens failed to put up 100 points. We talk about it. Deshaun Watson and Will Fuller would have beat his ass just alone. Only put up 97.32. 4th down and bitches put up 143.64 points, which meant that he won by 46.32 points. So with that said, we look at the breakdown of the matchups. We look at the position play. So the quarterback play, Dak Prescott against Phillip Rivers. Surprisingly, Phillip Rivers had a really bad game. Only put up 4.14 points. Dak Prescott put up 29.22. So the advantage went to the quarterback play on that one. We look at the wide receiver play. Sammy Watkins had 0 points. Stop starting Jamison Crowder. The guy got you 1 win against the power game, like in week 2, and you keep starting him. He sucked. Had 3 points. Auden Tate had 10.1, which was a cool performance for you. Combined, you only had 13 points in the wide receiving core for Mike Thielens. A bad weak wide receiving core. We look at the wide receiving core for 4th down and bitches. T.Y. Hilton had 5.7. Sterling Shepard 7.2. Concerned though because he does have a concussion now. So this guy's his 2nd concussion of the season. Then Michael Thomas, recently acquired Michael Thomas for a 2nd round pick to the elite. 35.7 points. So the advantage obviously went over to the to 4th down and bitches. We look at the running back play. Connor at 11.5. Gallman at 1.4. Not a great performance. Running backs for 4th down and bitches. Eckler at 14.8. And Le'Veon Bell at 12.3. So advantage obviously went there as well. Tight end play was pretty much a wash. Jack Doyle at 3.4. Jason Witten with 4.4. The flex play went over to Matt, the cheetah breeder. 26.4 points for him. And then James Washington, 7.7 over to M.I. Thielens. Defense was pretty much a wash. Chargers at 14. The Bills at 12. In the bench play, both left to be desired. Your 2nd overall pick, Coleman, you didn't even start with 15.7. Jared Cook finally had his best week of the year on your bench with 12.1. Jordan Howard, 12.2. And 17.1 for Everett over on in my 4th down and bitches. When we look at this matchup, I hate to say it, but it wasn't a fair matchup to begin with. We look at the injuries. Sammy Watkins got knocked out of the game early. Wayne Gallman got knocked out of the game early. But tough shit. That's fantasy football, right? Wayne Gallman got you a win last week when he should had no business doing that. Sammy Watkins got you a win in week 1 where he had no business doing that. Newsflash though, Tyreek Hill is coming back. Sammy Watkins is going to be irrelevant. Everybody on that wide receiving core is irrelevant when Tyreek Hill comes back. We know that. But Kelsey's game gets boosted up for pop. So, fuck you. Your team lost. So you're looking at 4-0 at the end of week 4, but jumping into week 5, it's just really odd. You're looking at 3-2. So you got the stock correction loss, and you got the loss against 4th Down and Bitches, which that's one person you don't want to lose to. And you're sitting at 3-2. 4th Down and Bitches on the other end, sitting at 3-2 also. Not a bad place to be 4th Down and Bitches right now. He already went through his bye week with his running backs. Acquired Michael Thomas. He's got a couple of issues when it comes to the quarterback play and tight end play, which is still being addressed. But I think he's in prime position moving forward. It's just I think it's two teams going in opposite directions. In my Thielens, he was able to get by through the waiver wire, free agency, work the matchups here and there, but now it looks like it might be biting him. Where 4th Down and Bitches now is moving in the positive direction. Just two teams, two different directions, but they're both sitting around the top of the standings at the moment. So with that said, we finished up our matchups. We're going to take a look at next week's matchups and power rankings as soon as we're done with the break. Thank you for watching Hard Hits.